Hello everybody and welcome back to Europa, where it has been a little while since we played this one. It's gonna take some remembering to remember how to play it, no doubt about that. But we're gonna hop straight on into the single player. This is of course a continuation of our Carpetanian mega campaign, but as with the previous version, you don't have to have seen what comes before. We are not importing it. We are not starting turbo strong. We are instead starting over. So what are we going to start as? Well, the obvious option is to start as like Castile. Honestly, I think that's kind of boring. We've done the Iberian start twice so far in this. We extended all the way out to like here in the previous campaign. So I think that anything within like this circle here is kind of fair game to start as at this point. We can make up any story we want about how the Empire fell apart and, you know, all of this nonsense. That's all fine. No problem with that. It would have been very easy to have the Empire fall apart, obviously. So the question is, what do we want to start at? Well, the Iranian DLC was just released, so I kind of want to start out in this region, out over here. And honestly, our oldest holding out here was Transoxania. We got that very early on, surprisingly early on through inheritance, compared to some of these other areas out over here that were significantly later. So these are kind of the ones that are the most Carpetanian here. And naturally, that means that they're the natural heirs, right? Definitely. This is the most Spanish nation that has ever existed, Transoxania. I love it. It's wonderful. So we're going to play as Transoxania. They start off as a vassal of the Timurids. That's going to be interesting. So it basically functionally means that we can't expand to the south until we take over the Timurids. That'll be the overall idea, anyway. So we're going to have to expand up to the north. Things like Nogai, Uzbek, Chagatai. That's the direction we're going to have to go, at least at the beginning. We'll see how that plays out. It's going to be very interesting for sure. I've started this before, but I've not actually started the game. I just took a bit of a look around to see what our diplomatic situation was going to be. And we're going to not be playing in Iron Man. This whole series has not been in Iron Man. Achievements can't be earned. That's fine. I'm not too concerned about achievements. Let's hop on in. Iron Man just creates a lot of extra labor for me on the content creation end, just to make absolutely certain that we're not going to have any issues with the save file. So that'll be absolutely fine to not do. But here we are starting as the Emirate of Transoxania in 1444. Ulugh Beg, I imagine I butchered that, rules Transoxania from Samarkand, the great capital of his father Timur, the conqueror who built an empire from Anatolia to Delhi. Our overlord and Ulugh Beg's father, Shah Rukh, rules his father's empire from Herat to our south, as the supreme authority over Transoxania and all other Timurid realms. Shah Rukh's reign is near its end, however, and the aging ruler has fallen ill during the past year. In the provinces, his sons and grandsons are observing the court in Herat with great interest. Ajam, under Muhammad bin Baysankor, is already independent in all but name. So Ajam is these guys out over here. In Astarabad, Khorasan, his brother Babur has built a small power base for himself, no doubt with the only goal to have a base in the coming succession struggles. So that is in Khorasan. So Khorasan is this right over here. Afghanistan is ruled by a lesser grandson, while Faris is in the hands of a 12-year-old prince of the dynasty. Meanwhile, the Uzbeks to the north are watching with interest, awaiting the day we will be weakened by the inevitable succession struggle. In the west, other enemies of the empire, such as the Karakoyunlu and the Millenarian? I am not familiar with this word. The Millenarian Mushasha have made great inroads into what was once Timur's domain. As 1444 draws to an end, the fate of the empire seems uncertain. Should Shah Rukh recover, he may well rule for a number of years yet, but the tension is tangible. Every son and grandson has been waiting for the moment of the emperor's death their entire lives. Cool. So, our current religion is, of course, Sunni. That's all fine. This is very standard stuff. Emirates are monarchies. Okay, that is all reasonably okay. We've got the Ikta government type. Okay, so we've got taxation policies. Efficient tax farming increases our tax income and gives a one-time tax increase from all subject countries. Land acquisition reduces cost of making provinces cores, and gives a one-time manpower increase. Both of those are very good. And lenient taxation reduces the liberty desire of subject countries. Okay, so this is just subject countries. I don't believe we have any subjects. We are ourselves a subject right now. Yeah, and we've got 62.5% liberty desire. Okay, so this is going to be very interesting, for sure. So we're currently making 6 gold per month. We can expand our military up to 15. We probably should. I see that we've got 3 cavalry right now. Let's take that up to 4 for reasonable flanking. And then let's get some Muslim foot soldiers built up here. Just to max out our military, first things first. We're able to sell Crownland to estates in exchange for ducats. Why is this popping up now? That's new. Okay. So our Crownland, we currently have no effect. I'm not going to sell this right now. Really, we're interested in seizing the land more than anything. But we're going to need to get a little bit of loyalty here. So we can see the loyalty equilibrium is relatively low for all of these. So we're going to need to add in some privileges here. Honestly, governing capacity plus 100 is pretty decent. That'll reduce our absolutism. This is not a big concern right now. I would love to get this admin power. That would be 10 Crownland, which is painful. No doubt about it. And what we really need is to boost up the loyalty equilibrium. So this is just basically a penalty to our absolutism. That's okay. We're going to go for that for now, just to boost that up to a loyalty equilibrium of 44. Okay. Well, that needs to continue to come up. So we need another, like, at least 6. Clerical inwards focus. Exempt from seize land. I don't like that. Maybe give them a monopoly on wool, but I would really prefer not to. Missionary strength is interesting, but we're Sunni, so I don't feel like we really need the missionary strength at this moment. There's a lot of new options here. Okay. Development of temples. Does not lose Crownland share from developing provinces. That's okay. I don't plan to do too much province development, all things considered. So that's probably fine. We'll grab development of temples, and that will put their equilibrium at 54. So that's solid. Now we need to do something similar for the emirs. Their equilibrium is currently 42.3, so this only needs to come up by 10. Increased levies is definitely interesting. But they're exempt from seize land, and I'd rather they not be. We're going to need to deal with that. So right of council, I think, is all we need here for the emirs. That puts us at 52.3. Looks good. So for the merchant guilds, what are we at here? 33.1. Okay, so that needs to come up by like 20. Yikes. So that pretty much means free enterprise. That's a hit to our absolutism, but for now, that's fine. And we'll probably leave it that way, in all honesty. We need this to come up again, of course, and to that end, we could target something along the lines of, I'm just looking for additional loyalty equilibrium for right now. We want our loyalty equilibrium plenty high for the moment, and we'll look for bonuses and balancing that out after. For now, we're just looking to get these in. Control over the monetary policy is an interesting one. All power costs is not really great. 20 local autonomy to Samarkand. This will eventually go away. So that is an interesting option. I think we'll give them city expansion privileges, but they're going to need more, I believe. Yeah, that's 48, so they actually do need 5 more here. Governing cap is, I think, a reasonable one to do. So we'll do that for now. Our Crownland is low, that is understood, and we're going to be seizing that land soon enough. So next up, we're going to need to go for... Ulema and Emir's loyalty equilibrium would drop. That's fascinating. So that's at 52, that's at 54. We definitely don't want that. So right now, no. We'll grant them liberties. Yeah, that'll hurt our absolutism. That's fine. For the time being, it's okay. So next up, we need to bring this up to... Oh, we're at 54.8. So we don't need anything more here equilibrium-wise. Cool. I'm not going to seize Crownland here just yet. We can receive proposals, and we probably... Actually, we should do that right now. So we do that right now. And what do we want to do? Samarkand base tax? Manpower level at least 90. I'm not planning on getting that done anytime soon. Yeah, that'll take some time. So, not on that one. Have at least 391 gold. Probably not going to happen anytime soon. 3 privileges granted to the Dhimmi. Okay, what is the current tax in Samarkand? Our capital would be out over here. Current tax here is 7. We'll take that. I don't love it, but we'll do it. Okay, so our Crownland is low, but we boosted up their opinion. So now we're going to seize Crownland here. They're all going to lose 20 loyalty. Interesting. For some reason I thought... No, that was right. I was mathing in my head wrong. Okay, this is good. Yep, we'll let that drop on down. They'll start recovering since we got the equilibrium up correctly. And we're back into no effect on our Crownland. Perfect. So functionally, we get a lot of this at mostly just the cost of absolutism. Which for now is fine. Wait, we can sell titles at this point. Sell 10% of Crownland? No, we're not going to do that. For 273 ducats? No thanks. I'm actually just going to click that off. So these are our government interactions, and this is new. We don't have any subjects right now, but we would get 15% national tax modifier. Land acquisition would reduce our core creation cost, which currently is not a big deal. It will eventually become one, but not right now. Diplomatic reputation and liberty, desire, and subjects. We have no subjects at this moment, so that's not great. We're going to go for efficient tax farming, just for the tax modifier for the moment. Can we change those anytime we want? Once every 20 years. Okay, noted. So we're currently chilling at minus 5 prestige. We have uncontested cores, minus 0.7. So what do we have cores on that are uncontested? That is a pretty hefty amount. Up here in Uzbek. Okay. As a hypothetical, if we were to declare on Uzbek with these reconquest CBs, no one would join them, but the Timurids would join us. Well now. This seems like a really good idea. Of course, we can't fight our own wars, so that's a bit of a problem. The question is, what happens when the Timurids actually die? That's supposed to happen relatively quickly here, I think. Let's take this up to speed 3, and let's tick forward. I would normally play on speed 4, but for the time being, until we get a little more comfortable with our position, I'm going to stick to speed 3. So for now, we're just building up and preparing. Majapahit is an empire on its death throes. Okay, so they fell. Cool. But we're waiting for something to happen with the Timurids. That is the current goal here. A gathering storm. Okay. The aging ruler of the Timurid Empire, Shah Rukh, has been ill since the beginning of 1444. In his absence, his wife, Goharshad, I'm definitely butchering this, has taken over the daily rule of the empire, but this sign of weakness has set wheels in motion among the princes that rule the Timurid provinces. In western Iran, the young prince Mohammed Beysankour, an ambitious grandson, has started to accept taxes and tokens of loyalty from a much larger region than his assigned governorate. Having finally recovered and learned of this insolence, Shah Rukh has now declared Mohammed Beysankour a rebel, and is moving to strike him at first opportunity. If a civil war among all sons and grandsons, like that at the end of Timur's life, is to be avoided, Shah Rukh knows he must strike down any sign of rebellion harshly and quickly. Only time will tell what the other princes will do. As long as Shah Rukh lives, the ruler of the Timurids, he will greatly reduce the liberty desire of the remaining vassal countries ruled by his sons and grandsons. Okay, so he is... how old? 67. Okay. So that's going to go pretty quickly in theory. We're building up our manpower right now. We're going to want to... oh, I remember reading that they added things in the macro builder. I don't notice anything that's different immediately other than maybe the states section. And this just diplomacy section. Okay, yeah, those are definitely new. Okay, that's very convenient. Cool. So we're going to get to work on all that. We're making a very tiny amount of cash right now. Fort maintenance -3, vassal fee -2.31. Okay, noted. For now, that's okay. We'll keep these forts. I think that they're probably, well... thinking here. I'm not sure that this one is useful. If these guys declare on us, the Timurids will defend us. As well as all of these others. So I don't think that's very likely. I'm going to get rid of this fort, And we're just going to keep the 2 forts that are currently out over here, but I'm going to unmaintain them. They'll become re-maintained later on, and that'll be fine. We did just build the force limit, so that's great. We can complete this mission and get ourselves 5% morale of armies for 25 years, and reduce our land maintenance modifier, which would be a good thing. What else can we do beyond this? We can prepare for war, manpower at least 60%, number of generals at least 1. We have no general. Okay. We can recruit a general here. I think that's fine. Let's see how we roll. That is mediocre. Actually, that's less than mediocre. That's a pretty bad general, but that's okay. So we have our generals. Now we need to let our manpower regenerate. That is to be expected. We need to have our income come up. We need to get our stability up. We need to get our development grown by at least 50. That's fine. We need to not be a subject nation or be at war with the Timurids. Okay. Austria is doing things. That's fine. Our liberty desire is significantly reduced because of the Empire of Shahrukh, minus 50%. Got it. Okay, right, institutions. I haven't checked in on the institution situation. What do we got going on here? No, I don't want to exit OBS. Okay. What do we got going on here? So, feudalism is currently present. Renaissance, of course, has not started spreading anywhere, so it's not here. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. No major issues there for now. And we'll see how this goes. The question is, what exactly happens when Shahrukh dies? I'm pretty sure, looking at these potential successor states, I'm pretty sure that we're the strongest. Maybe Asiam here? No, I think we're the strongest. Royal marriage offer from the Timurids. Okay. So our legitimacy will change by -3 when signing the deal due to their inferior prestige and legitimacy. Having 1 royal marriage... Okay, so this is not really going to, like, put us in any sort of a personal union here. It'll be interesting to see what actually happens. I've never played these events before. We'll find out. One thing we do want to do is boost up our taxation in Samarkand. It's going to cost 92 and then an additional 95 admin power. We should probably be focusing admin power right now, actually. So let's get that focused, and we'll work up our admin power for now. Okay, Austria is telling us about Italy. Okay, cool. Thanks, Austria. That'll be fine. We're not too concerned about the Kingdom of Italy right now. That'll be a bit. So we've built up our forces to the force limit. At this point, a lot of the things in our mission tree are kind of passive, right? So Transoxanian leadership is mostly just about waiting out the death of the Khan. We built to the force limit. This is growing our development, but we can't do that while we are at peace, except for development, which is very inefficient. Manpower at least 60%. That'll happen passively. High income, that is something that we can work towards, and stabilizing Transoxania as well. So bringing up our stability and investing in getting additional funds, which we would do anyway, to be clear. We're going to need a fair amount of additional cash, that's for sure. But for now, we're just chilling. Should we be drilling? Yes. We are chilling, we should be drilling. That would be helpful. I almost forgot about that one. There we go. So we're going to get these guys drilling and working up their drill by 0.83 per month. Okay. So that's something anyway. Phenomenal. So now the question is, when does I guess the Shah, not the Khan. Okay. When does the Shah die? It's currently 67. And this doesn't say when he was born. Interesting. That inaugurated on 11 November 1444, that's just the start date, right? So that's not actually when he was inaugurated. For now, that's okay. I definitely want to get the Timurids taken over. That is kind of mission 1, if we can. And from there, we'll be in a place of power to expand. And that would be absolutely wonderful. We would very much love to do that. So we're building up our drill here. This is, of course, helping us and making our army stronger. I don't know if these guys are building up their drill at all. They are not. Confirmed. So we're the only ones drilling over here in our little neck of the woods. Although Ajam is independent in all but name, right? So they basically broke away from the Timurids, and I wish them luck with that. But for now, this is going to be very interesting. So we can go to, let's see, it would be under, I mean, we can declare war on them, right? On the Timurids directly. So defend capital Samarkand. I mean, we have a royal marriage and they're our liege, so that would be a big stability hit. And they've got a lot of allies. We don't want to do that necessarily. What we want to do is wait for the ruler to die, and when he does, we should have a reasonable claim on the Timurids at that point. It's been a year, and he has not died yet. I think it's probably just random when he dies. So we'll keep an eye on that. We are about to be able to finish off our taxation increase here, which is good. Here on, I think this next month? Yes. Oh, hang on. Okay. Pause. Pause. Things are happening. First things first. We're going to get our admin power built up there. So, that should finish up our mission, right? Or am I doing this incorrectly? Our current mission is... Yeah, this will just have to tick at this point. There we go. Beautiful. So we get some loyalty and some prestige. We boosted up our base taxes, but the Shah is dead. After a lifetime of war and iron-fisted rule, Timur's heir and son, Shah Rukh, has finally passed on. His life's work has been to keep the empire his father built together, unifying it after Timur's death and then stamping out any rebellions against his own rule. Shah Rukh brought peace to many parts of the empire, and under his rule, the arts and sciences have blossomed. During his last years, he's been ill often, and his sons and cousins have used this time to prepare for the inevitable war of succession. My time has come. So the Timurids no longer have the benefits of the reputation of Shah Rukh, and all vassal princes will therefore be more likely to start to plot for the throne themselves. Okay. So how do we do that? That is definitely an interesting question. It doesn't appear to be anything in here. We have national decisions available. Adopt the title of Khalifa. So, bestow the title of Khalifa upon the Sultan to demonstrate his importance, not only as our political leader, but also as our spiritual leader. Okay, we can try to claim Timur's legacy. What do we need to do this? Timurids needs to not exist? Okay. That's interesting. So if we go into our subjects here, we're at 94.5% liberty desire. So I think we need to hit 100% liberty desire. I think. So we don't want to do the royal marriage. And at this point, we might want to consider going past our land force limit. So what's our current combat width? Our current combat width is 20. Okay. So really, we should be targeting 16 in our infantry. Let's expand this up to 14 for now. And we're going to keep drilling for the moment until we see anything going on over here. Oh, we got 12 ducats. Cool. So we can bring that up to 15. So we're almost certainly going to be running a deficit here. Timurids is planning to attack Ladik in a war of aggression. Okay. So that's these guys out over here. Noted. Next month's tick, we can bring this up to our combat width, which is exactly what we want to do here. By doing this, this is going to be bringing up our liberty desire, right? Because we're going to be stronger than them. So we're currently at 93.8. Relative army power of all vassals to Timurids is 137.7. Relative economic power, not quite that high. So the question now becomes, once these get built in, what are we going to be at for our balance here? It's probably going to be not great. Okay. The Timurids declared this war. We don't care. We are not going to participate. For now, this is just fine. The state needs the money. Absolutely. We're going to take the money here. That'll be fine. And we need to break free from the Timurids. Absolutely. We're at 95% liberty desire right now. And they're going to take some losses out over here. I'm wondering what they're at for manpower. 4K? We have more manpower than them? Fascinating. They do have 26K soldiers. Okay. So that's noted. We are losing a bit of money here. Oh, right. That is because these forts reactivated due to the war. I'm not too concerned about this war. This war is not surprising. An alliance offer from Fars. We'll accept that for now. Cool. So our diplomatic reputation is reducing this by 5.7%. Lenient taxation is reducing it by 15%. Same ruling dynasty by 5%. Opinion of Timurids by 15%. Trust towards Timurids by 10%. So really, what we want to be doing is probably insulting them. Do we want to spend some prestige? Probably not, to be honest. Okay, so we're going to insult them. Cool. So minus 14.9% from opinion of Timurids. That didn't really change all that much. That's noted. Okay, so we're going to let them continue to fight out over here. They're taking attrition. They're going to take some battle damage there. The real question is, how are they doing on their manpower reserves? And we'll find out about that. I mean, obviously they're going to win this war. That's very clear. Yeah, that stack wiped. So we can see that they are taking attrition out over here. So this is going to be a little bit painful for them. We're going to have to choose our timing here relatively carefully. -3 because they are our liege, indeed. Interesting. So that's an option. What we really want to do, though, is bring up our liberty desire. So a large part of this is our relative economic power, I think. And that makes a lot of sense. We are currently slightly negative financially. And to that end, I'm going to debase our currency a bit here. This is probably not the greatest thing to do. But I'm going to debase our currency slightly. We can then control our rooting out of corruption. And I want to begin construction. Never mind, I'm dumb. Okay, we don't actually have access to these because we need the admin tech. I forgot about that. Yeah, that would be a thing. So we're not going to root out this corruption. We're just going to not go into debt. That's fine. We can control how much we spend this down. That's reasonably okay for the time being. So we're sitting at 93 right now. Lenient taxation is a big part of this. One thing I need to figure out, I don't think this is the right way to do it. How do we actually... Do we go to these guys? Or is it in the subjects tab? I mean, our overlord has no active subject interactions with us. There's a way to do this, to start up an actual rebellion here. But I don't think this is it. So is there like a demand independence option? I don't think so. There is a way to do this somewhere. I don't really know how to play as vassals, and we'll get there. We'll figure it out. That's okay. For the time being, we're going to need to deal with the Timurids. And the question is, when and how? We could ask to become a march. They really don't want us to. I wonder why that might be. I'm really deeply unsurprised by that one. So I'm just looking through these options here. I mean, I think a lot of these will open up once we're no longer in this war. So I'm going to let the Timurids finish up their war. That'll be absolutely fine. And we'll take a look at what our options are at that point. Taking a look at this situation here, they are down to 2k manpower reserves. So we can tell that they definitely struggle with their manpower. That's for sure. Keep in mind, this was a really, really weak nation. We're a significantly stronger threat than this. We're not necessarily strong enough to take them on and all of their vassals. So that would be the main concern there. So this war is going to be over pretty soon, I think. Khorasan's opinion of Transoxania would go down here. And that's okay. We'll accept that. So they're at 31% here on the war enthusiasm. And this is because of the Overlord out over here. That's quite a long ways away. We'll see what the Timurids end up doing about this. Like, when they end up ending their war. An alliance from Sistan will accept that. We may want to ally with Khorasan as well. Can we do the same with Afghanistan? Actually, yes. So we can be allied with virtually all of these at this point. And of course, we can't do this. We can't fight our own wars. So, with all of that, if we declare this, this is looking much better. Now, we have no diplomats to send, but we could declare this anytime we wanted to. Dawasir and Biapas would come in here. Who is this? Okay. They're pretty irrelevant, to be honest. So we could definitely do this. We're going to move this army down, and I'm going to consider doing this next episode. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.